You sit here for days saying, this is strange business. You're the strange business. You have the energy of the sun in you, but you keep knotting it up at the base of your spine. What strange business could Rumi be speaking of in his strange, poetic way? You have the energy of the sun in you, but you keep knotting it up. How does it become unknotted? How does a human being allow that energy of the sun to suffuse them and give light to the world? This is what faith formation or religious education is all about. My earliest experience of faith formation was in a Sunday school in a moderate Methodist church my family attended in small town Iowa. I don't recall any particular lesson plan. There are odd snatches of images and feelings that pop up when I remember that place. Large cardboard bricks I played with in the nursery, fun to stack, fun to topple over. And a strange instrument played by one minister's wife during a Sunday school class, which I believe was called an auto harp. I remember, as if in a dream, dressing up as an angel in a Christmas pageant, looking over the balcony with wings at my shoulders and a tinsel halo on my head, while giant Christmas trees on the chancel stood decorated with strange, unintelligible, lit-up symbols. The memory that stands out most is the Christmas Eve service they have, which ended each year with us passing the flame from candle to candle down each pew as we sang Silent Night. It was probably the most hushed and reverent experience I had in church as a small child. The candlelit sanctuary had an air of mystery, magic, and deep connection that still moves me. Something unknotted in me there. But these were exceptional occasions. The formal weekly curriculum of the Sunday school focused on Bible lessons, as best I can remember. I don't think I made a whole lot of sense of those as a child. Tower of Babel, Isaac ready to sacrifice his son, baby Moses floating in a reed basket. It all seemed long ago, far away, the stuff of an alien culture that had little to do with me. Perhaps the lesson that stuck most from those earliest years of religious instruction was one conveyed by music. It said, Jesus loves the little children, all the children of the world. Red, yellow, black, and white, they are precious in His sight. Jesus loves the little children of the world. My first principle, basically. Although why Jesus needed to be cited as the authority on this matter, I didn't know. It was when I got to junior high and 2 years of confirmation classes that we focused more squarely on doctrine. We were taught explicitly what Methodists believed. I approached these sessions as one might participate in West Side's adult forum, engaged, asking questions, digging for the reasons why, and learning more about what I thought by hearing someone else's understanding. This was all well and good until I reached the end of the confirmation classes. The next step was to be confirmed, to stand before the congregation and recite back all the beliefs that had been presented to me, declaring my allegiance to them. We youth had been allowed to paint the small basement room where our class was held, creating fantastic scenes of stars and planets and spaceships. But we were not allowed the same agency to build our own theology. Our credos were written for us, and they were all identical. So I searched my adolescent heart, and it was a struggle, and I found I could not do this. I could not stand in front of the congregation and declare these creeds constructed by someone else to be answers. Those answers didn't happen to make a whole lot of sense to me, and I wasn't even sure we were asking the right questions. In Rumi's imagery, I tasted no fire in the ear. And it felt like it would be a lie to declare my belief things that I questioned. To their credit, my parents and my minister recognized that I was being honest, I was authentically searching, and that forcing the issue was not going to help anyone or serve their goals either. So when Confirmation Sunday arrived, I did not get confirmed. And I want to be clear that despite this outcome, I'm grateful for the grown-ups that created a loving environment in which they tried to teach me what they understood to be important, what they thought might help me in life. The experience of care and community in that congregation encouraged me, and there was much good in what I was taught. Although I don't happen to regard Jesus of Nazareth as the Son of God, unique in all history and Savior of humankind, I see him as an authentic teacher who lived a very powerful message of love for all. I think Jesus was a universalist. He still inspires me to walk in the way of love, to be bold in denouncing injustice and valuing those whom society would leave behind. Others here have no doubt had a wide range of experiences with childhood religions, both positive and negative. And I recognize that those who grew up without a structured way of engaging religious questions and supportive adults around to discuss beliefs and values, may experience that as a void that did not serve them well either. Indeed, the desire to provide a loving community to support our children's faith development drives many people who may have gone without a religious community for many years to seek one out when they have children. It's how many people have found their way, or in some cases found their way back to Unitarian Universalist congregations. For many, parents or otherwise, free and responsible search for truth and meaning, as we like to call it, is a necessary but not sufficient basis for religious development. Along with freedom, we have the need for community, for acceptance of one another and encouragement to grow spiritually in our congregations. Another one of our principles. When my daughter was young, we belonged to a children's science museum in our city. There was one station where the little ones could use excavating brushes to clear away tiny pebbles and discover the fossils jutting out from the rock bed below. There was an underground cave in our area of southern Indiana that similarly offered kids the opportunity to find treasures among the rocks. Visitors would place scoops of sandy earth in a sifter and shake out the sand to find the gems, or in some cases put a mound of whispery dirt into a sluice and let the water wash away all the small particles. Squeals of delight could be heard as children uncovered hidden gems. The process of religious development in the Unitarian Universalist classroom is more like this. We present stories to our children as well from many sources, including the Bible, and we create a space in which they may explore the meanings of these stories in their own lives, learning to sift the gems from the sand, sorting out what is of value to them and what is not, discarding what's not useful and treasuring that which sparkles with meaning, all in the presence of a caring community. Now here at Westside, we don't usually call it Sunday school, but children's classes are referred to as religious education, or RE for short. In the Unitarian Universalist Church where I completed my ministerial internship, it was called Religious Education and Exploration. I kind of like that addition of exploration, which gives a sense of adventure and curiosity to the whole enterprise. You can almost feel the miner's headgear going on, with lamps to see in the caves, and picks and brushes for hunting for gems. Besides education and exploration, there's another phrase for this that is becoming common in our congregations. I don't know if you've used it here. Faith formation. I find that language me too. To me, faith formation is very much about that forming edge of our lives. The edge of right now. The process by which that each moment of our lives presents us an opportunity to experience, to learn, to grow. Faith formation is about living out the 7 principles that we so often refer to here. It's about becoming your best self, whether you understand that in terms of becoming a more patient partner or parent, or being an instrument of peace in the world, to quote the prayer of St. Francis, or perhaps healing old hurts that have held you back. As we sang in our opening hymn, "Come, Spirit, come, our hearts control, our spirits long to be made whole. Let inward love guide every deed. By this we worship and all agree." That is faith formation. Becoming whole, our lives guided by love, our spirits free, if we choose to live on that forming edge of our lives. It's a process that this congregation seeks to support for people of all ages. I've noticed that struggle for authenticity, which was so poignant in my own religious coming of age, is one that almost every member I talk to of our chosen faith of Unitarian Universalism experiences. I hear it from the voices of humanists in this congregation, who find it goes against their grain to use religious language that is foreign to their own experience. And I also hear it in the voices of others who want to be able to express themselves wholly and genuinely, for whom that very same traditional religious language may be helpful and even necessary to their experience. We here, I believe, are earnest enough and honest enough to want to be able to be real with each other as we journey together. And I think we can do that. We can do it by speaking from our own life experience and by listening with curiosity and an open heart to others. Sophia Lyon-Foss, the progressive religious educator you heard about in our UU Moment of History this morning, who transformed our approach to teaching, zeroed in on this very thing as the basis for effective religious development: learner's own life experience. Another of our leading lights in liberal religious education in the early 20th century, Angus MacLean, taught that the method is the message. The method is the message. What does that mean? The way we teach is just as important as the content of the lessons. The method, he said, is the message. Well, looking back, here are some messages I can see that I got from the methods of my childhood Sunday school experience. 1. The established canon and creed are the ultimate source of knowledge. 2. Other people are responsible for teaching me the correct beliefs. My role is to accept what I'm told. And 3. Belief is the most fundamental aspect of faith. Now, I should note that even people who have gone through a similar tradition and experience as I did may come to different conclusions. I have my parents, for example, continue to be very faithful, practicing Methodist Christians whose faith I have a deep respect for. So I'm speaking only of the way I experienced it. In contrast, here are some messages I have absorbed from the methods of learning information that I have experienced as a Unitarian Universalist. Messages our children, too, may internalize. 1. There are many sources of truth, including not only the Judeo-Christian heritage of Unitarianism and Universalism, but also the other 5 sources of our living tradition. If you're not familiar with these and you want to refresh yourself, you can open your writing home and turn back a couple pages before the first 10 and see that list of our sources. 2. While I journey with others in supportive community, ultimately, I am responsible for my own search for truth and meaning. And 3. Faith is not defined by unquestioned belief. Reason is important, and direct experience, our first source, trumps any external source of authority. As one-time Unitarian minister Ralph Waldo Emerson put it, belief is best passed through the fire of thought. You might say it's best tested in one's own life experience. Well, as you can see, the way of liberal religion is not necessarily an easy way. Unnodding the energy of the sun in us, and letting it flow freely through us, that's demanding. Building our own theology, and living by it, is hard work. Have you or your child ever taken care of a classroom pet? One family took its turn caring for the yellow baby chick that had become a class favorite in the child's school. The chick was the weakest of the group. One of the students, eager to see the little yellow bird, had tried to help it when it was hatching, picking up pieces of the shell for the chick. But as baby chicks come out into the world and begin peeping and creeping, the struggle to break out of the shell is what strengthens them. The chick deprived of the chance to do this was weaker as a result of that child's help. Like baby chicks, little humans need a chance to exert themselves too. I believe there is great value in grown-ups here sharing what we have experienced and what conclusions we have drawn. But it's equally important that we listen to our children as they find their own words and constructs and tune into what their lives are teaching them. This is a great gift which teachers and advisors, parents and grandparents and mentors give to children. I think it's expressed well in the vision of our religious education or RE program, which goes like this: to provide a safe environment that encourages development of an open mind, helping hands, and a loving heart in our children and youth. Now I have presented some contrast between the mainline Protestant experience of my childhood and what may be available to children and adults here at Westside. In our ways, our UU tradition is different from many others. But we also have much in common with other religious traditions when it comes to faith formation. Our methods may vary, but our goals often overlap in the broad sense of supporting people's spiritual development. So I'd like to share with you elements of a vision for 21st century faith formation created in a conventional Christian context. I've tried to translate it into language that is accessible to a theologically diverse community like ours. See what you think of this. The vision says, we want faith formation that helps people grow in relationship to their highest good throughout their lives. To live as disciples of moral exemplars like Jesus or Buddha, or you might simply say, to live as servant leaders in the community. To develop an understanding of our chosen faith, including Unitarian Universalist principles, sources, and history. To deepen our spiritual life and practices. To put our values into practice to serve others and co-create a better world. To relate the UU tradition to life today, and to participate in the life and ministries of our UU congregation and movement. That sounds about right to me. Faith formation is about making our lives deeper, lighter, richer. It's the opposite of being stuck or complacent, static or dull or irrelevant. Rather, it is moving, caring, dynamic, vibrant, and relevant. And like the child who discovers in the natural world that there are treasures in the forests and the lakes, the hills and the oceans, the earth and the sky, when you try to point to faith formation, you begin to realize that it's everywhere. It's happening all the time. Faith formation is indeed happening in those places that we call here religious education or RE, in our children's Sunday morning classrooms, and the adult forum and adult RE class on Sunday morning, and in our youth group's Friday night meetings. But faith formation, or RE, is not confined to these classroom settings. When the Humanist Book Club or Contemporary Book Group meet, they are relating our tradition to life today. When our meditation group sits in silence together and discusses teachings, or when people attend a Saturday morning yoga class here, they are deepening their spiritual life and practices. When our high school youth and the Coming of Age program go to Boston, the capital of Unitarian Universalism, they are developing a deeper understanding of our faith, where it comes from, and how it is lived. Faith formation happens in the warm welcome that we offer visitors on Sundays. The process of forming ourselves in faith is in the servant leadership practiced by our board of directors and all of the teams and committees of this church. It's in the work of our pastoral care team and other caring groups who put our values into practice to care for one another. Faith formation happens too in small groups like young adults and women of West Side and simple suburbs, where we explore the many dimensions of our lives and support a religious community. We certainly hope, I and the worship team hope, that it's in our Sunday morning services where we come to reconnect with our community, to receive insight or inspiration, not only through words and music, but through the sacred silence of the wave of talking subsides. When, as Rumi urges, we should not speak, but let it grow within. Here we return over and over to being made whole, and ready once again to go back out and create peace in our lives and in the world. And faith happens outside this building too. It happens all the time. In Rumi's image from this morning's reading, spiritual formation is fire. And our very living is the firewood. Do you serve meals at Samaritan House? Or put together Thanksgiving baskets for self-controlled nights and churches? Bring gifts for the angel tree? You are adding more kindling. Do you keep a reflective journal or have a regular practice of meditation or prayer or sing in our choir? You are glowing on fire. When Westsiders showed up for a Black Lives Matter rally at the Water Gardens this summer, and if you show up for the upcoming Pride Parade, you are on the forming edge of your faith. Maybe you say grace with your family at bedtimes, or share what you're grateful for at bedtime, or take your children on long walks in the woods and observe the trees and the animals and take time to feel a part of everything. And so, you are deepening their spiritual life and practices. Faith formation happens everywhere. The question is, how intentional do we choose to be about it? For the less intentional we are about this process, the more likely we are to see ourselves formed for mere survival or for superficial and unsatisfying living. Whereas I propose to you that our reason for being in this church is to form ourselves for service, to support a deeper and more fulfilling engagement with life. Now, we've been talking about faith formation primarily in terms of the individual, how each one of us can grow and learn and serve, and how this congregation provides concrete opportunities and a supportive community to help us do that all throughout our lives. Westside is a strange business of faith formation, after all. But a congregation can grow collectively, too. What is the forming edge of Westside as a community? As I've been talking to people here and learning about your experiences and hopes, I'm hearing that many feel the next stage in the development of this church includes welcoming more people into this community and putting our faith more fully into action, so that our liberal religious voice has a greater positive influence in the wider community. This aspiration is evident in the transcendent values of justice, equity, and compassion that the congregation adopted earlier this year. Rumi speaks to this too in his enigmatic poem, He tells us, say one in your lonesome house. Loving all the rest is hiding inside a lie. What is Ruby talking about? Say one in your lonesome house. Your lonesome house, this apparently separate existence each one of us lives. That is the lie, because the truth is that we are all interconnected. We are one with all of life. If we cling to the surface pleasures of our senses or get caught up in the rat race and the pressures of our competitive consumer culture, which is very easy to do, that is loving all the rest. That is hiding inside a lie. Because what is most real is our connectedness. In the deepest part of our being, we know that we are part of something much larger than ourselves. I want to experience that more and more. We want to serve that greater oneness to which we belong, including the oneness of all life on Earth and this precious blue-green planet that is imperiled by the greatest challenge of human history, global climate change. This strange business of spiritual formation is what we are all about here in this church, here on this earth. As you go through your week, I invite you to view your daily activities and your participation at Westside through this lens. And I invite you in the months and years to come to help this church live out its aspiration to be a community where compassion leads us to work ever more deeply and effectively for justice and equality. Day by day, may we become whole, our lives guided by love, our spirits free. May we embrace the adventure of faith formation and carry that light with us into a world that is one. Please stand and bow your spirit for our closing hymn, number 1068, Rising Green.